Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2023 to Real Talk with Diana. I am Diana, your host, and I'm super excited because this is the first 2023 Real Talk video. So I'm super excited. There's so many things going on in this 2023 that I had to do a video. There's many things going on, so I didn't upload videos before, but let's start this video. It's all about like reconnecting with yourself, but also letting go that's not longer deserving you. Meaning, like, if you really want that dream life, you have to take different results. You have to make different actions to get different results. And that's kind of like the biggest lessons that I have had this kind of like weeks of 2023. So I wanted to recap with you here in Real Talk with Diana. So let's start. So today I did like a nice journal about reflections of the week. And I feel like that's kind of like a nice habit to have. I might start this habit too, of like just reflecting of the week. How was your week? If there were some good things, some bad things, what actually happened, and write those down. As always bring your notebook and your pen because I'm going to give you some prompts, okay? So the first prompt is reflections for the week. And then just write all the things that happened during the week that you just want to like get rid of, if that makes sense. So that's going to be one. I'm going to talk about my reflections for this week. I'm doing this on a Sunday. I'm going to release it tomorrow, Monday. So the lessons for this week were the following. I had a mini trip to a nice town here in Colombia. I had a really nice time. It was a little bit stressful, but it kind of like worked out. The purpose was just to relax and not do a lot of activities. I actually, at the end, I was like, I should wanted to do more activities, but the purpose, like I said, was to just relax and de-stress about, the whole work thing. Okay. So I did that and then I came back, and day one, in the sense of like Monday, was super heavy day for me because I was loading containers. It's super hard if you know what I'm talking about. It's just loading a bunch of furniture, and I was very tired. I didn't know what to do. A lot of things going on. Tuesday, Wednesday was the day that was very, very impactful because it was a day that at work, there were some people that actually wanted to blame me because of things that I didn't do and for their mistakes. And honestly, that gave me thinking. First of all, I was very pissed. Okay. Second of all, is more like I don't want to be around with those kind of people when I'm actually working, because when I'm working, especially me, I like to work with people I can trust. If I cannot trust you, then I cannot really work with you. You know what I mean? And I feel like that trust like broke, and that got me really thinking like, do I really want to be working with someone that I cannot even trust to do their own work? It's not like, asking for them to go to the moon or whatever. I'm asking them to do your work, and they don't do it. Let me know if this resonate with a lot of you. Probably I've talked with a lot of some of you too. Let me know if that happens on the comments down below. Let me know, is there something similar that happened to you to this week or this past weeks? Let me know in the comments. I'll obviously answer them and see them and tell you something positive, or just giving you some like journal prompts or whatever it might be. Okay. So I feel like that really got me thinking like, okay, first of all, I need to be working with people that I can trust. Second of all, I want to be, so my words are, if in my other video, my words for 2023 are freedom and peace. Okay, they're my two words. And I feel like the words were very important for me. And I literally have them as a reminder on my phone. Like freedom and peace in the morning, the afternoon, at 4 p.m., at 3 p.m., at 6 p.m., at 7 p.m., and obviously not at night. But before going to bed, I always do remind myself those kind of like big themes for 2023. Okay. Um, and then it got me thinking, like, if I really want to have a life like this year, if I really want to have a life that is peaceful and it has the freedom that I want, I cannot be with someone, and meaning like coworkers and all of things like that, and even relationships. I cannot be with somebody I cannot trust. That's period. Okay. And I feel like that's one of the things, one of the lessons that I've learned this couple of weeks, especially this week. I learned like I need to be working with people I can trust and know they're doing their own job correctly. And like I said, I'm asking for them to do their job. It's not like I'm asking them to go the extra mile. It's literally doing their job, right? So it's not like, you know, okay. Let me know if this resonates to you. Let me know in the comments down below your experiences with something similar, like I said before. So that was one of the biggest things this week. Like I need to be generally with somebody I can trust, but also be knowing that they will do a good job doing their job, if that makes sense. Okay. That was one of the biggest ones. And also, it was like a whole thing. And I also realized when I was, talking to my coworkers, I was like, I'm proud of myself that I actually defended myself in this kind of like tough situations. And before, when I was little, I was like, yeah, no, yeah, it was my fault, I am sorry, even though it wasn't my fault. So I'm super glad that I actually I want to say defend myself, but I don't know if that's a good word. Um, but in the sense of like defending yourself of like, yes, I did this correctly, it's nothing that I did something wrong, it's their fault, and it's not blaming somebody else, but it's also protecting you in the sense of like you did everything right, and then they're blaming you because something you did right, it doesn't make sense at all. So I feel like the first thing, you know trust. Second thing is actually knowing that you're confident enough to defend yourself in those hard situations, because it's very easy to defend yourself in the sense of like your friends, your family. Sometimes it might be a little bit tough, but in general, just defending yourself in those very hard situations, I feel like that's a big win for me. And I feel like in general that's a very big win in general. So that was another one. The other lesson is that you cannot trust everybody. And I feel like I used to be very, very like close. I don't want to say close-minded, but very hard closed, cold, cold-hearted. Cold-hearted, meaning that when people say like, "Hey Diana, how are you?" Blah blah blah, I'm like, "Hi, like, what do you want?" Like very dry, very like black and white kind of thing. And I kind of like learned in general throughout many, many years, that it's really like I can trust people, there's people I can trust and people I cannot trust, and having that kind of like knowing who to trust and who you do not trust. I feel like that's a very good skill to learn in general in your life. But also learning not to trust everybody. And I feel like this whole situation started because I trusted somebody, not in the sense of like keeping a secret or whatever, but trusting that they did their job. It's not something like, oh, I'm gonna give you a secret, blah 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 blah. It's actually trusting that they're going to do their job, and they did not do their job, and they blame you because they didn't do your job. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm not gonna tolerate this. I did not tolerate this. And I told them, like, I'm not tolerating this. Like, I did the correct thing. They did the wrong thing. And you have to acknowledge that. Okay. So that's kind of like the part that I kind of like defend myself. I want to say defend because I don't know what the other word was. Um, so actually defending yourself and also knowing that you are correct, but not in the narcissistic way, like I'm always correct, blah 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 blah. But in the sense of like, you did a good job, or you did well in something, and then somebody says like you did it wrong. It's like, no, I did it right, and I don't need your opinion to confirm that I did it right. You know what I mean? So getting to that level obviously was very also very rewarding for me in that sense, that I learned in this like whole week. Um, the other one is that if this is not it, there's something much better. And I had a coach, Samantha. She was super helpful with me with this kind of like area, in the sense of like learning that you're in the right path, and then learning and understanding that you are in the right path, but also very guided. Are you when you okay? I'm just gonna recap a little bit. Knowing that you're guided, okay, but knowing that you're guided also means knowing how to listen to your guides. But if you don't listen, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm being guided, and you're just like, blah, I don't hear anything, then you're not really being guided, if that makes sense. Okay, so you also have to be aware of like things that happen, circumstances that happen, everything like that. And I nowadays I keep a lot of track of that, like some circumstances that flow very easily, and there's some that don't flow very easily. And then I asked one of like a spiritual mentor, and then she told me, like, how do I know I'm in the right path? I'm always asking God, the universe, whatever you want to trust. Um, how do I know I'm in the right path? And knowing that you're right path, and she answered me, and I feel like that's super key, was that you're in the right path when everything just flows very easily. Okay, so actually sitting down, like watching this video and like pausing this video right now, is like, do I think this is flowing very easily, or do you think I'm like going against the current? Okay. And I feel like I noticed that because I'm like in two like different paths right now. I'm like going to this path and I'm going to this path. This path, current path that I'm actually been in like 6 months from 6 months ago, um was a little bit flowy, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit flowy, but now it's very like everything is just hitting a wall, hitting a wall, hitting a wall. And then now that she said that to me, and that's why I wanted to share that too with you guys, was that it's not feeling flowy, and it should be flowy, and it should be easy. But then the other path that I was guys telling you about is literally been very flowy. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm starting this new project. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what this project is about. I'm gonna tell you guys later in the video. Um, but this project has been very flowy, very easily to like digest and like get around that too. So that's kind of like how I kind of like decided also in this week. There's a lot of things happening this week, but that's how I learned in this week that I'm like, this path feels like there's a lot of bumps, in the sense of like it's not very flowy, but then this path seems very, very flowy. And you know that when you already took action, it's been a week and a half taking action, both sides, both pathways, taking action, changing your mentality, all of those things that I actually teach in my Que Puedo community. If you want to learn more about that, there's always a link down below. You can ask me, or you can write on the comments. Let's chat about that community. but it's actually taking that action, taking that mentality. And it's been, like I said, it's been a week and a half taking those actions with those two paths and noticing, like I said, you're being guided. But if you're being guided all the time, but if you don't see those guides, then you're not being guided. You know what I mean? It's like going to, the mountains, and you want to go skiing, and you don't have a GPS, and you just go straight whatever pathway goes. You just trust that it's gonna go to the skis, but you don't see the GPS, and the GPS is telling you, yeah, go right, and you're just like, I feel like she go left, and then there's like a billion bunch of like traffic jams, whatever it may. I'm just giving you an example so you can understand this example, okay? So it's actually knowing those two roads, and I feel like that other road, the new project that I'm actually doing, it's very flowy, very easily, makes me happy. And like I said, it's also understanding that it's connected to your values, in the sense of like my value for, like I said, this year is peace, and it's also freedom. And the new project is actually giving me both. But this old project that I've been pursuing for 6 months has not given me that yet. Okay. So, like I said, it's just like getting into that mind, like, where do I feel like right now that it's being very blocky, very like against the current? Where do you think that? So you can pause this video, write those things down, and then the second thing is, then where do you think it's being very flowy, very easy? And I want to say easy in the sense of, I like the word flowy, because you're still taking action. It's still being scared of taking that action, still being scared, getting out of your comfort zone. But it's still very easy to see some results. And I don't want to say you're going to see results immediately, because another thing that I also learned was that there's a lot of things going on in social media in general, and I feel like it's very important to understand that it's like there's a lot of promotions, especially that I'm seeing in Instagram, because normally I'm in Instagram all the time. That I'm seeing that is like, oh, you can, live your life, your freedom lifestyle if you do this and this and this. It's kind of like thinking that they're doing it overnight, and then overnight you're going to be a millionaire, and that's not how it happens. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes action. So just also be aware of those things, and understand that, like I said, if you're in your old project and your old project is actually being very flowy and you don't want to pursue the new project, that's totally fine. But for me, it's like the opposite, okay? The old project is very blocky. I'm like super against the current, but the new project is very flowy, okay? But you're gonna see results. You're gonna see those kind of like, ooh, this is kind of like very easy. That was very easy. And I got this result. And going through that path little by little, you're gonna see the results in 90 days. It's normally 90 days that you see like a big change, if that makes sense. Okay, but like I said, it's taking action and it's doing the mental inner work too. Okay, it's not just like taking action, taking action, taking action, but it's a little bit of both. Okay. And like I said, I teach all of those things in my Quiero Abuelo community. If you want to know a little bit more, the link is down in the description box below. But also you can write me on the Instagram, or you can write me on the chats like, I want to join your community, whatever it might be. Okay. I'm also I might gonna do a free community too. But that's gonna be another thing. Okay. That's another thing that I also learned, that I was very like, that's very interesting. Let's take a note about that. Let me just read some of my notes here. And Okay, so what is that next step? I have a video, I feel like the last two videos about what are your next steps for 2023. So you can watch that video too. Like I'm gonna link it up down the description box below. You can like literally go to my YouTube channel and you will find it, your next steps for 2023. So you can totally do that and search those and what are those going to be your next steps, okay? But like I said, right now in this moment, that was kind of like my reflection for this week. Let me know on the comments down below if this resonated, if you want to learn about new things, about new topics that I haven't touched on before, or whatever it might be. Let me know in the comments below. I will respond to you too. I always read the comments, and also if you want to hang out more daily with me, you can follow me on Instagram, Diana at Focus on Now. Diana dot Focus on Now. That is it for now. Thank you for watching. We're gonna have a new video always in Mondays or Tuesdays every week, okay? And like I said, it's been a lot of things going on this 2023, and I wanted to do like a mini recap of what happened. But like I said, as you've seen, this week has been the most craziest as ever been. And normally, in this real talks, I talk about, things that happened to me, and I wanted to share those lessons with you, like I said in this video. But if you want to talk about new things like journaling, or you want to talk about manifestation, or you want to talk about attracting money, whatever it may be, you can also write it down the comments down below, and I can put that also on my next videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the doorbell so you don't miss Mondays and Tuesdays, Real Talk with Diana, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.